Good morning, everyone, from the U.S. Department of State's Asia-Pacific Media Hub in Manila. I am Zia Syed, the Hub Director, and I would like to welcome our participants dialing in from across the continent and the United States. Today, we are pleased to be joined by U.S. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral John M. Richardson. Admiral Richardson will be speaking to us after his attendance at the International Maritime Defense Exhibition in Singapore. Prior to that, Admiral Richardson was in India. He is currently speaking to us from Tokyo, Japan. We'll begin today's call with opening remarks from the Admiral. Then we will turn to your questions. We will try to get to as many questions as we can during the time that we have, which is approximately 30 minutes.
The United States Navy will continue to expend effort and attention to underwrite the secure and orderly conditions that have led to so much prosperity around the globe. We'll continue to advocate for that rules-based order, challenge excessive maritime claims around the world that impinge on free and open seas. And as I highlighted during the session, this means that you have to be out there operating in the world, and that's one of the missions of the United States Navy, and we take very seriously. And we also understand that this is very much a team sport, that we never do this alone, but we do this in conjunction with our partnerships with like-minded nations. And so I think that that's good. We had a chance to address this in a fair amount of detail at the security conference. It was one of the consistent themes that a lot of the delegates there were interested in exploring. And from my perspective, as China continues to grow as a nation, as they continue to prosper, and as they look more and more to be a more maritime nation, that they get more and more of their prosperity from the seas and markets and sea lanes that bring goods to and from China. I think that it's almost a natural progression that they would have a navy that could secure those that part of their economy and secure that part of their national power. What we would hope is, and what we strongly advise, is that as they expand, they do so in compliance with the international rules-based order. And this is the way that we compete as nations. We shouldn't hesitate or be concerned about competition. It's a natural thing. But by abiding by the rules-based order, by being transparent in our activities and actions, whether it's in the South China Sea, Taiwan Strait, around the world, this once again engenders consistency with those rules, engenders trust and confidence with other parts of the international system, and certainly minimizes the risk and vulnerability of some kind of a miscalculation, which would, I think, be a setback for everybody involved. And then with respect to the ASEAN-U.S. exercise, a very important exercise that allows the United States and ASEAN to work together in an operational way, ASEAN being so important to maintaining peace and stability in this region. And so we very much look forward to that. The initial planning conferences and all the preparation is going on. It's a little bit early to talk about, when and how many forces, but as those details come together, I look forward to a very meaningful exercise. At least the way I try to discuss this is, again, from the point of view of consistency, right? And so with respect to freedom of navigation operations, it's important to understand that the United States Navy advocates through these operations for freedom of navigation, open seas, consistent abiding by UNCLOS, and we do these around the entire world, right? The operations, we do a dozen or so of these throughout the world, including contesting the excessive maritime claims of even our allies and partners, and so this is sort of part of the way that the United States continues to show its strong advocacy for the rules-based order that was brought together by UNCLOS, and it represents this balanced and holistic agreement to govern the maritime commons. And so consistent behavior that abides by those rules is what we advocate for. And the United States Navy has been consistently present in the South China Sea for more than 70 years. Our operations there have really not fluctuated much over those 7 decades, including in recent times. And so we'll consistently be present. We have tremendous amount of national interest. About a third of the world's trade goes through the South China Sea. The United States is a maritime nation. We have great national interest in that body of water, and so we'll consistently be there. I would say that, and as I said in the press conference in Singapore, that these are just sort of the normal types of operations for us, certainly not meant to be provocative in any sense, just a normal advocacy for international law.
Thank you, and we're just about wrapping. We're just about running out of time. So those remaining questions, please, if you can keep them fairly brief. Next, we have Analayu Korsakul from the Thai Armed Forces in Bangkok, Thailand. Please go ahead, Analayu.
Yes. Hello, Admiral. Thailand and United States military have a long relation, and we have the 100 exercise exchange program each year between the two armed forces. What do you see the relation between the two countries, and what do you expect the role of Thailand to play in the maintaining the stability in the region, especially the South China Sea?
With Thailand being the current head of ASEAN, I believe, then we look forward to working very closely with ASEAN and Thailand to further strengthen not only our bilateral relationship, but also the relationship with ASEAN as a group. So I very much look forward to leading that, working together with them.
Thank you, Admiral. We perhaps